بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. MashaAllah. Jazakumullah khair for being here. And it's such an honor to be back again at this beautiful community and beautiful masjid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to put barakah in this masjid, put barakah in all the attendees, and put barakah in your lives, inshaAllah. There's a story from the Andalusian time that there was a man, his name was Muhammad, and he was, in those days, his job was called a hammar. A hammar is simply, let's say, the taxi drivers of those days. So he simply had a donkey, and he used to carry people, carry goods between cities, between towns, between the village. That's his job. One day he was sitting with his two friends, and they were having an evening talk or evening discussion. And Muhammad asked them, like, what do you guys dream of? What do you guys would like? What do you guys dream of? And someone said, I like some nice gardens. I like to have some money. I like to have a house. So they asked him, Muhammad, what would you like to have? He goes, I would like to be the Khalifa. Everyone started laughing. What are you talking about? You're just the donkey guy who takes things between towns and villages. You become a Khalifa, are you crazy? He goes, no, I'll become a Khalifa. So they told him, so then he asked his two friends, okay, and if I become a Khalifa, what would you guys like me to give you as my friends? So the first guy says, well, if you become Khalifa, then I want you to give me this much land, this much horses, this much palace or something. And he asked the other guy, what would you like? The other guy was making fun of him, like, nah, come on, man, you'll never be a Khalifa, forget it. And he goes, just ask. So if you become a Khalifa, put me on a donkey and make me go around the town and people shout at me, Dajjal, Kadhab, liar, 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 liar. He's like, this guy's not going to happen. So Muhammad thought, okay, well, if this is my intention, this is my niyyah, I'm going to be a Khalifa, what's the best way to get there? So he realized he somehow needs to be part of the government forces. So he decided to sell his donkey and became a police officer. And then slowly, he moved up the ranks until became head of police. Slowly to move up the ranks to joined the special forces until became one of the closest generals who was literally overseeing the Khalifa. And then the Khalifa died. And the only heir to the Khalifa was a 7-year-old boy, very young boy. So there was the wazir, there was this general, the army, Muhammad, and there was a 7-year-old boy. So guess what happened? He basically locked up the 7-year-old boy, told him, you sit in the palace and we'll keep you happy. He locked up the wazir, says, you just also sit there, don't do anything. And then he de facto became the Khalifa. So then he called his two friends. This is years later. He called his two friends. He goes, remember what I said? So the first person said, what did you ask me? He said, well, I asked you for land and this and that. He goes, give him. Then he told the other friend, what did you ask me? He goes, no, I was just lying. I didn't mean it. I was joking that time. Like, no, you said something. He goes, I said, put me in a donkey, maybe go around the town, call me liar, liar. He goes, I want you to, this is what happened to you, so that you know that Inna Allah ala kulli shayin qadir. Allah subhanahu can do anything.